there, it's JavaSeal, and in this video we're going to be getting your computer ready for Java programming. So sadly we can't just whip out Microsoft Word, start typing some random code in, and hope that it runs Java from there. No, we need this thing called the Java Development Kit. I use version 7.25. I advise that you do too, so that way we can be sure that our code behaves the same way, despite the fact that I know that there are some newer versions. So what is this Java Development Kit? I'm telling you to download something and you don't even know what it is. Well, it has three major parts. First, there's the Java runtime environment. And by running your code in this environment, you can debug your code when errors pop up, and you can also keep an eye on instructions that you've written. Then there is the Java compiler. This is so handy because it takes the code that you've written in Java, translates it for the computer into computer language, because just writing in plain old computer language is really rough. Next, Java APIs can be most easily explained as a collection of libraries and commands that you can put in your code that Java understands. So go ahead and download this. I downloaded it from Oracle. That's basically the headquarters for Java, and you have to set up an account with them. It's free, not a big deal, but hey, if you find a website where you can download this without getting a virus and without getting a random toolbar plugin for your web browser, hey, good for you. But the next thing we need is a source code editor. This is where we actually write your code and then save it as a Java file. So the source code editor I use is called Notepad++. It changes colors. Anyway, I use this because when I'm typing my code, it changes a particular color. Say if I'm writing a while loop, another type of command, or including my libraries. It's kind of like a preliminary debugger, because if I type something in and it's not the right color, then hey, I know what's wrong without even compiling the code. Then there's Eclipse. My college buddies use this. I have not personally used this myself, but hey, if you want to give it a try, I'd say go for it. Now, if you don't want to download any of this source code wombo jumbo offline, you have the beautiful, wonderful Notepad, which no one knows what the use of it for until now. Now it's actually useful. We can type code right here, save it as a Java file, and it works just as good as its older brothers right here. But sadly, it doesn't have the bells and whistles of code changing colors when it's wrong. So that is Notepad. You can use Notepad to take our program that we've written in our source code editor. We have to, and to be able to run and compile it, we use command prompt. And command prompt allows us to change our directory, find where code is written, and then compile it with Java. So I'm going to give you the basic command prompt 101, because this can kind of be confusing first couple times you use it. So we need to use this command called change directory, or CD, and that allows us to go to a different folder connected to this previous one right here. So I want to get to my desktop because I know that it's connected to this one. And I do change directory space desktop. Boom, there it is. Now I want to change directories and keep swimming through my folders until I get to the space where my file of my program is stored. So I do change directory again, and I know that one of the first steps is to go through the work folder. Now I can cheat a little bit, add two folder names and just put a slash in between them and go through two folders at once. So I know I have to go through JavaSeal, and then I also have to go through speeding, ticket, calculator. Alright, so if you're ever wondered why we could not use the slash while naming a folder, well, this is why. Because slashes actually separate the folders right here. And if you ever wondered why people had underscores in their file names, they weren't just being fancy and show-offy. They actually needed them, because when we have a space in between two things in our command prompt, that means we have a command right here and then a file, a folder, or something else on the other side. So if these were all spaces, the command prompt would be super confused. So now that you're enlightened, please don't use spaces in your file names, because that will be a big issue later. So now that we're in the folder where I know that the program is stored, I can go ahead and type in this Java C command, or javec, or Java compile. This is the command we use to compile our Java code. Then I type in the name of the program that I have. You have to put .javec, or Java, at the end, so that way javec knows that it is a Java file. Press enter, and hey, boom, it compiles. No issues. This would not normally happen if you just downloaded the Java development kit and that's it. No, we actually have to make a path to this javec command. And it's kind of tedious, but if you don't do it, nothing's going to work. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First, we actually have to find where javec is stored in our computer. So we go to computer, we go to our local disk C, we go to program files, double click. Okay, here's Java, here's our Java development kit, bin, and boom, here's our buddy javec. We click on him so that way we can copy the path of where he's at. Go ahead, copy that, X out. Now we're going to set the path for this javec command. And we go to the computer, do right click on it, properties, advanced system settings, environment variables. We use this little window down here, go to path, and at the end of all this right here, this is where the end of my path was. We have to copy paste the path of where javec is, and you have to add a semicolon right here. Don't forget about this semicolon. So semicolon, and then paste in the path that we just copied. Say okay, okay, alright, goodbye, and we can successfully compile our program. Once you've done the path setting, you shouldn't have any problems compiling your code. Alright, so this was how to get your computer ready for Java programming. Please join me in my next video when we write our first program, the speeding ticket calculator, or the speeding ticket simulator, whatever you want to call it. And we will be using the command prompt to compile and run our code. I hope you're as excited as I am because we can Java program now. I will be adding the links to these websites in the description of the video. I am so sorry, Mac users, but I do not have a Mac. So I will be also adding a link for you so you can get your computer set up for Java as well. Thank you so much for watching, and Java Seal out.